Hello, my name is Norah Gupta, and me and my group, Another Angle, are going to be talking about the chapter Lines and Angles. Now, Lines and Angles is a very interesting chapter. We've already talked about Euclidean geometry, which talks about the history of these creatures, and the coordinate geometry, which talks about the physics of these creatures, the basic structures of these creatures. That's what we're going to be talking about in this chapter, lines and angles. So it's kind of like biology for these creatures. It's very weird, don't ask me. So points are like the cells in the geometrical world. So points are dots with a location, so they have a coordinate. Now these points make up lines, but if these points are on a line and they are on the same line, they're called as collinear points. They're very friendly, Points can be sometimes very friendly, or they can be sometimes very angry with each other, and they stay apart. They don't like conflict, so they stay apart. They stay in different lines. When they stay in different lines, they're called as collinear angles. Yes, they are sentient beings. Points are sentient beings, just like cells are self-functioning units. Then a line is a collection of points, obviously, but a line can also be extended indefinitely in both directions, which is a very interesting thing, And a line also contains some kin, which we'll talk about. So line segments. Line segments are just lines which cannot be extended indefinitely. So they have a beginning and an end. So they are very rigid, very rigid. Then there are rays which are very focused. So they can extend indefinitely in one direction, but in the other direction they don't want to kind of go. So they are very focused, but they are not very flexible. Lines, however, are not that focused. They are very flexible. So now we are going to be talking about angles. Angles are made when where there is a joining of two rays. So one ray and another ray, when they emerge from the same point, they are known as angles. Now angles can go from to any direction to any direction. That's why there are many different types of angles. Now angles have vertexes, which is the point where they emerge from, and the arms, which are the rays. Now there are different types of angles, and so we are talking about them as a family. Okay, an acute angle is like between 0 and 90 degrees, but it's not exactly 90 degrees, it's lesser than 90 degrees. So that's the smallest brother, it's like a baby, Then there's the right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees, so it's about 5 years. Then an angle greater than 90 degrees but lesser than 180 degrees, it's called the obtuse angle, so about 10 years. Then we talk about the straight angle, which is equal to 180 degrees, and it's 15 years old, so it's kind of like a teen. It's like, what's up? Then there are angles which are greater than 180 but lesser than 360, that 20 years old, and they are called reflex angles. So they have a bit more reflex left in them before they lose their reflex axis and become very mature. So they, after 5 more years, they turn into this, a complete angle. Complete angle is a 25-year-old angle, and it's 360 degrees, which is amazing, isn't it? So 360 degrees, it's kind of like a measurement to all of the ages, a sort of a measurement to these ages, Then we talk about complementary angles and supplementary angles. So when these angles have friendship, so they are friends, so at that time we can talk about their relationship. So 90 degrees talks about the age of the relationship. So complementary angles are the ones which have 90 degrees as the sum of the both of these angles. So they have like 9 years of friendship. They are very good friends, but not that good of a friend. Then there are supplementary angles which have a sum of 180 degrees. So they are friends for 18 years. That's really a lot of time. Now we are going to be talking about adjacent angles. Now when these angles get married, so they have a common arm, so they have a common interest, and they have two non-common arms which they have different interests. These are known as adjacent angles, angles which have a common arm. Now, which have like are already couples but already married, and they have a long relationship, so of 180 degrees, they are known as linear pair of angles. Oh, sorry, that noise that you heard was like, it was a noise, so let's leave that. Then we're going to be talking about vertically opposite angles. Now, vertically opposite angles are angles which are made by the intersection of two lines, and these are either horizontally opposite of each other or vertically opposite of each other. So we're going to be talking about the vertical opposite. So they are in a straight line in a vertical axis kind of thing. So there are horizontally opposite angles as well, but we don't call them as horizontally opposite angles, we just call them vertically opposite angles as well. Now let's go to Norah for the topic intersecting lines and non-intersecting lines. It's a very interesting topic because these are separate creatures as well. So yeah, this is Arnab signing off for now, I guess.
Thank you, Arnab. So, what are intersecting and non-intersecting lines? Intersecting lines are just like two friends who have common interests, which represents the common point. They, that are the lines, travel through it and extend their friendship to infinity. But there are some who just can't connect or are complete opposites. They are called non-intersecting lines. Sometimes they can be parallel as well. As Arnab previously talked about linear pairs and gave you a basic idea of what it is, we are now going to talk about its properties. These properties, like things discussed previously, do not have a proof, but they are mathematical statements nevertheless. Axiom 6.1. It states that if a ray stands on a line, then the sum of the two adjacent angles so formed is 180 degrees. Axiom 6.2. It states that if a sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degrees, then the non-common arms of the angles form a line. Let's go to Norah, who will be discussing Theorem 6.1 and the introduction to the parallel lines and transversals.
Thanks, Swastika. So, let's see what is Theorem 6.1. If two lines intersect each other, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. So, how do we prove it? It has a proof, and there are many ways to prove it. But as professionals, we have to follow the procedure. It's given that there are two lines L and M. God, these mathematicians can't even give proper names to these lines. So unimaginative. Anyways, coming back to the topic, L and M intersect each other. Okay? So we need to prove that vertically opposite angles AOD and BOC are equal. On line AB, angle AOC plus angle BOC is equal to 180 degree, which is a linear pair. On line CD, angle AOC plus angle AOD is equal to 180 degree, which is also a linear pair. From equation 1 and 2, we add angle AOC plus angle AOD. So angle BOC is equal to angle AOC minus angle AOC plus angle AOD, which gives angle BOC is equal to angle AOD. Now let's talk about parallel lines and transversals. Remember when we said parallel lines cannot connect with each other? There actually is a way. And Arnab, you were so wrong. As opposites attract, the force between them is represented by a line that goes through them, and they are called transversals. But they create a new species called parallel, so they have different body parts. Exterior angles lie on the outside of the body just like our hair. Interior angles lie on the inside of the body like our organs. Corresponding angles are basically copycats of each other. Alternate interior angles are basically ones which lie in an alternate direction. And alternate exterior angles are the same as alternate interiors but lie on the outside of the body. Okay? Now coming to allied angles, these are interior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal, which is the spine of this creature. And keep in mind, they all have different properties. According to axiom 6.3, if a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles is equal, and hence earning the name corresponding angles axiom. And according to axiom 6.4, if a transversal intersects two lines such that a pair of corresponding angles is equal, then two lines are parallel to each other. Come, let's go to Chaithyak, the sage, to talk more about the provable theorems of these creatures and dive into the topic of the equiparallels.
Thank you, my child. So, theorem 6.2 is basically if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of alternate interior angles is equal. So, given here is transversal N intersects two lines, that is L and M, and prove here is alternate interior angles. So, proof. First, we need to prove angle BQR is equal to CRQ. For lines AB and CD with a transversal PS, angle AQP is equal to CRQ because of corresponding angles. For lines AB and PS, angle AQP and BQR are equal since vertically opposite angles. From 1 and 2 we can find that the angle BQR is equal to CRQ. Similarly here we can prove angle AQR is equal to QRD. Hence a pair of alternate interior angles is equal, and this is hence proved. Theorem 6.3 basically states that if a transversal intersects two lines such as a pair of alternate interior angles is equal, then the two lines are parallel. So given here is two lines AB and CD and the transversal PS intersecting AB at Q and CD at R, and such that alternate interior angles are equal, that is angle BQR is equal to angle CRQ. So to prove here is AB is parallel to CD, and proof here is for lines AB and PS, AQP is equal to BQR. These are vertically opposite angles, but BQR is equal to CRQ, and that is given in this. From 1 and 2, AQP is equal to CRQ, but they are corresponding angles. Thus for lines AB and CD with the transversal PS, corresponding angles are equal. Things that are equal to the same things are equal to each other. Hence angle AQR is equal to angle CRQ, as they are alternate interior angles and AB is parallel to CD. Hence proved. Now we have theorem 6.4, which states that if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of interior angle on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. So given here is two parallel lines AB and CD and a transversal PS intersecting AB and at Q and CD at R. So to prove sum of interior angle on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. That is, angle AQR plus CRQ is equal to 180 degree, and angle BQR plus DRQ is equal to 180 degree again. So proof: for lines AB and CD with a transversal PS, angle AQP is equal to CRQ because of corresponding angles, and for line PS, AQP plus AQR is equal to 180 degree, linear pair of course. Hence, angle CRQ plus angle AQR is equal to 180 degree. That's one criteria satisfied. And angle CRS is equal to angle DQR is equal to corresponding angles. Angles BQR plus angle DQR is equal to 180 degree because of linear pair. Hence, angle BQR plus angle CRS is equal to 180 degree. Hence, proved. Now, let's go to theorem 6.5. I know it seems like too many theorems, but these theorems are to distinguish this creature from others, and that's all. Theorem 6.5 states that if a transversal intersects two lines such that a pair of interior angle on the same side of the transversal is supplementary, then two lines are parallel. So given here is two parallel lines AB and CD and a transversal PS intersecting AB at Q and CD at R, such that angle BQR plus DRQ equal to 180 degree. To prove here is AB is parallel to CD. Proof: for lines PS, angle DRQ plus DRS is equal to 180 degree because of linear pair. But angle BQR plus DRQ is equal to 180 degree because it's given here. So angle DRQ plus angle DRS is equal to BQR plus angle DRQ. Subtracting DRQ from both of them yields angle DRS is equal to angle BQR, which are corresponding angles. Hence all criterions are solved and hence they are proved. Now we talk about a special kind of specimen that we call equiparallel. So equiparallel means lines that are parallel to the same line. They also have almost the same characteristics as the former, but also have another property. Now let's go to theorem 6.6, which states that lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. This property can be extended to more than just two lines. So given here is three lines L, M and N and a transversal T such that L is parallel to M and M is parallel to N. To prove here is L is parallel to N. So proof: for lines L and M with transversal T, angle 1 is equal to angle 2, which is because of corresponding angles, and for lines M and N with transversal T again, so angle 2 is equal to angle 3, which is also again corresponding angles. So now we have from 1 and 2, angle 1 is equal to 3, but there are also corresponding angles. For lines L and N with transversal T, corresponding angles are equal, hence L and N are parallel. Hence proved. So now we'll go back to Arnab, who will talk about the angle sum property of the triangle, the concluding specimen.
Thanks, Chaithyak. Now, what is a triangle, you might be asking? Now, a triangle is a specimen which contains three angles. So it's like those Power Rangers' mega robot. It's the most powerful and most balanced being in the entire infinityverse, which, for the reference here, it's actually the combination of all the omniverses, and there's only one infinityverse, hence the singular form. It has three vertices, three edges, and three angles. Most importantly, they have two properties that help them maintain the balance of the infinityverse. Theorem 6.7. The sum of all the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Now, angle PQR with angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. This is given. To prove angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. Construction. Draw a line XY passing through P parallel to QR. Proof. For lines XY and QR with transversal PQ, angle 2 is equal to angle 4. Okay, so there is angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. Angle 4 and angle 5 are the exterior angles in this situation. So angle 3 is equal to angle 5. Both of them are equal to each other because they are alternate angles, and in parallel lines alternate angles are equal, right? Now let's see this entire diagram. Now there is angle 1, angle 4 and angle 5. Now what does this exactly form? It forms a linear pair. Now a linear pair is a combination of angles, of adjacent angles, which form 180 degrees. So angle 4 plus angle 1, angle 1 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 is equal to 180 degrees. So let's just change their values to x. So all of them are x plus x plus x is equal to 180 degrees, which becomes 3x is equal to 180 degrees. X is equal to 180 over 3, which is 60 degrees. That means angle 1, angle 4 and angle 5, which are all equal in this situation, are all 60 degrees. That means angle 2 is equal to angle 4, so that means it will become 60 degrees. Angle 5 is equal to angle 3, which is equal to 60 degrees. Add it all up. 60 plus 60, 120. 120 plus 60, 180 degrees. Hence proved. So 180 is a magical number, a literal cosmic number required to balance the world. It's obviously the age, but it's also a measurement of power. We call this balance, which some humans mistake for a secret society, Illuminati. The secret society is actually Illuminati, which is spelled with a Y in the end. There is another force, however, it is equally important to maintain the balance of the infinityverse. Theorem 6.8. If a side of a triangle is produced, then the exterior angle so formed is equal to the sum of the two interior angles. Theorem 6.8. Given a triangle PQR, QR is produced to point S, which means extended to a point S, where angle PRS is exterior angle of triangle PQR. Now angle 4 is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. Now there are two equations. Angle 3 plus angle 4 is equal to 180 degrees, which it's a linear pair. Then in PQR, angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees, angle sum property of a triangle. Now in these two equations, there is a very important thing. There is something similar in both of them. There is angle 3 in both of the equations. Now subtract angle 3 from both of the equations, because see, now that means angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to angle 3 plus angle 4. Two things equal to the same thing are equal to each other. So cancel angle 3 from both of the equations, and hence you get angle 4 is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. Hence proved. That is all, guys. Hope you enjoyed this extremely long video of explaining the chapter lines and angles.
Thanks, Chaithyak.
Sayonara.
So what
folks. Is a triangle, you might be asking? Now a triangle is a specimen which contains three angles. So it's like those Power Rangers' mega robot. It is the most powerful and most balanced being in the entire infinityverse. It has three vertices, three edges and three angles. Most importantly, they have two properties that help them maintain the balance of the infinityverse. So, theorem 6.7. The sum of all angles is 180 degrees. Given triangle PQR with angles angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. Prove that angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. Draw a line xy passing through P parallel to QR. This is the construction. Proof. For lines xy and QR with transversal PQ, angle 2 will be equal to angle 4 as their alternate angles. But for lines xy and QR with transversal PR, angle 3 is equal to angle 5. So alternate angles. And as we can see here, angle 4 plus angle 1 plus angle 5 will be equal to 180 degrees. That's because they are angles on a straight line. So as we've already established before that angle 2 is equal to angle 4 and angle 3 is equal to angle 5. So that means angle 2 plus angle 1 plus angle 3 or angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees, which it's isn't that the criterion? Oh yeah, it is. So angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees, hence proved. So 180 is a magical number, a literal cosmic number required to balance the world. We call this balance, which some humans mistake for a secret society, Illuminati. So it's called Illuminati. The secret society is Illuminati with a Y. There is another force, however, it is equally important to maintain the balance of the infinityverse. Theorem 6.8. If a side of a triangle is produced, then the exterior angle so formed is equal to the sum of the two interior angles. So this is the exterior angle property. Theorem 6.8. If a side of a triangle is produced, then the exterior angle so formed is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles, as we have already established. Given a triangle PQR, QR is produced at the point S, where angle PRS is exterior angle of angle PQR, to prove that angle 4 is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2, right? Now for line QS, angle 3 plus angle 4 is equal to 180 degrees. This is because they are linear pair. And in triangle PQR, angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. That's basically the angle sum property of triangles. So let's understand the axiom that Euclid presented. Things that are equal to each other are equal to the same thing. So angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to angle 3 plus angle 4. Now we can subtract angle 3 from both of the equations, hence we get angle 4 is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2, or angle 2 plus angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to angle 4. Now this is proved, but then what does this state? That means that the exterior angle that's there is actually the sum of two opposite angles in the triangle, which is angle 1 plus angle 2. Angle 4 is the exterior angle. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this extremely excruciatingly long video. Yeah, too many adjectives, explaining the chapter lines and angles. It took a lot of time and a lot of hard work from the team members of Another Angle, and like it took so much time that we actually almost crossed the deadline. And anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this, and sayonara folks.